Hi and welcome to my first website development tutorial. This video is part of a long series that I will be creating of teaching you how to create a website straight from the basics to the very advanced. Okay, so we're going to be creating these websites in a program that practically everyone knows, and it's called Notepad. Okay, so let's just open up a Notepad. Okay, here we go. By the way, I have two screens. You'll see me drag things across, but this will be the screen I'll be working on. So, the program Notepad. Now, to make it a HTML document. So, let's start again. A HTML document is what your website is actually. It's what it is, okay? It's what you put into your server to make it display your website. Okay, so to make this a HTML document, you need to click on all files on your save as type and go .html. Okay, and then call it whatever you want, so blah de blah. Save. It's being slow. Okay, there we go. So now this is a HTML document and you can use this as a website. But for now, we're going to be using a different program. That program is called Notepad++. It's a more into-depth version of Notepad because it actually helps you with your coding. Now, the reason why I'm using a text editor for my websites is because, not just for my websites, but for these tutorials, is mostly because if you're doing it through a text editor, then you're learning the basics. And by basics, I mean straight from the very bottom. You're starting quite literally at the beginning of making a website. You're not looking and dragging things in to make your website that does the code for you, because if there's an error with your website, then you're not going to know how to fix it. And that is a big problem because it's just not right. So the reason why I'm teaching you with Notepad, or Notepad++, sorry, is because it's teaching you the core concept behind the HTML document. So let's get the program called Notepad++. So I'm going to type in on Google Notepad++, and it'll be the top link. And you're going to want to click download, and it'll be the current version. Now, depending on when you're watching this, it'll be the top of the screen and the installer. Click on that, download it, and install. Once you've installed it, open it up. Now, once you've done that, you'll have a new window. It will look pretty much identical to what I have right now. Okay, so before we start, I'm going to need to teach you some keywords, because if you don't know what I'm typing, then you're not learning anything. You're just watching what I'm doing and copying. And that's not what this tutorial is about. It's not one of those tutorials where you can just watch and copy. You actually need to learn something here, and that's what I'm going to do. So, the first keyword, or key tag, sorry, and by tag I mean with a greater sign and a less than sign with a word inside it. That is a tag. Okay, so the first tag is the HTML tag. This tag tells the browser that this is a HTML document. So whatever within this tag is the HTML document. Whatever is outside it is just seen as a text. Okay, so whatever's outside it won't be on your website at all. Right, so now we know that, we can move to the next keyword, and that is body. Now, body, this tag here, is the element that defines the document's body. The body element contains all types of contents of the HTML document, such as text, hyperlinks, images, tables, lists, and so on. Okay, so now we know that, we can move to the next one, and the head tag. The head tag is an element that can... Sorry, let me restart. The head element is a container for all the head elements. Elements inside head can include scripts, instruct the browser where to find style sheets, provide meta information, and more. I don't necessarily expect you to know what meta information or style sheets are at this point in time, but throughout the tutorial series, you will fully understand what they actually mean. So, and the following tags can be added to the head section: base, link, meta, script, style, and title. Now, the title tag is probably used the most, but I'll be explaining that next. So let's move on. The next is a style. The style tag is used to define the style information for a HTML document. Inside the style element, you will specify how the HTML elements should render in a browser. So the style is essentially how it will look, where it will be, what size it is, and so on. So, next, like I said, I'll be talking about the title. Now, the title tag defines the title of an element document and is the only required element in the head section. So, like I said, the head section, which is the head tag, is the title is necessarily the only one you need in it. So, you don't need anything other for your website to work inside the head tag. Okay, so now we know that. Let's move on to the div tag. Now, this tag defines the division or section in a HTML document. It's often used to group elements to format them with styles. So it's like a div is like a division. So say you have a box within a box, okay? And the box inside the box is your div. And the box that houses the box is your HTML document. Okay, so the box inside the box is your div, and that's what you use to move around objects with the styles. Okay, so the style tags, right? That makes sense? I hope it does. Okay, if it doesn't, comment on the video and I'll help you out. Okay, so now the layout of a HTML document is as such. You start off with your HTML tag and you close it off with your HTML closing tag. The next is your title tags, your head tags, your style, and then body. Pretty much every single website will have this, and it will have it pretty much identical to how it is right now. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to first, like I said, you're going to need to open up your HTML document, because otherwise it just sees it as normal text. So, first of all, we're going to need to save it, and save it as a hypertext markup language, or HTML for short. I'm going to name it. I'm naming it my website. I'm going to rename it because I don't need that. So now we have the name of the website and it's a HTML document, and you'll see down at the bottom right it says hypertext markup language file, short for HTML. Now let's change the language, go to HTML. This enables you, it basically gives you little hints of what's wrong with your code and so on. Okay, so let's start off. We're going to open up our HTML, like so, and you'll see there's a little line with an arrow, but it has nothing there at the moment. That's why you put something there. So to close a tag, you open it up, put a /, then put the same tag in, and then close it off. And you'll see when you click on one, it highlights it, and the one above it highlights it. That shows that these are connected, okay? So now within that, we're going to open these down to line 16, doesn't really matter. And we're going to enter the title tag, okay? So title. And we're going to close it off, title. Now, with the title tag, because it's necessarily only one thing you need, it doesn't really matter where it goes. So, and if you remember before, the head, the title is the only thing you need in the head. Okay, so we're going to open the head above it. I'm going to close the head below it. Now, what this does is it puts the title inside the head, okay? And that allows the title to know where it is and where it should be. So we're now going to name the title something that's not my website, because if it's my website, then you're just going to think that the title is what the name of the HTML document is, but it's not. The title is, for instance, you have this up here, which is Smash Animations, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's this here. It's the name of what you'll see at the top of your browser. And that isn't what the name of the actual HTML document is called, okay? So we're going to name it Smash animations. That's because that's the name of my channel, my websites, and everything of that type. Okay, so next after the head is style. So style, we're going to open it and we're going to close it with a style with a / like so. And you'll see if you click on it, they're linked, so we got that right. The next is body. So the main part of it, so everything that's inside, everything you see in the actual website is within this. And by within this, like how the title is within the head, okay? I hope you're following along so far. It's really quite a simple concept once you understand. So the next thing we're going to be doing is the div. Now the div is, like I said, a box within a box. Now imagine the HTML is the outside box, the body is the box within the box, and a div is a box within a box within a box. Okay? Now, that's going to be a bit difficult to understand. I'm not going to do the box thing anymore, but I hope that actually helped the analogy that I said, because essentially, I'll show you, it's kind of simple. So, div, we'll open it and close it, like so. So now this is a box within a box within a box. Okay, so everything in here, this is inside the HTML box. Okay, everything in the body is the div. Okay, right, so now we understand that. Now, the div, we're going to type hello world inside this. So when you save it, once you've saved this, you should have the title of which you chose, and in the top left hand corner there'll be a sign saying hello world. So let's check that out, shall we? There you go, top left, hello world, and the title is Smash Animations, as you can see up here. So now we've got all that working. That's essentially a website. Okay, so that concludes the first part of this tutorial. The next part of the tutorial, I'll be teaching you the style. Okay, so stay tuned and look forward to it. I'll see you later.